Good morning. This is Pastor Doug. Wasn't that great last Sunday when Jocelyn and Brian and David publicly declared their faith in Christ and went under the waters of baptism? You could just feel the energy and the joy and the love and the excitement in the room. Pray for Jocelyn, Brian, and David this week, and even in the weeks to come, that the enemy would not be able to steal from them the joy that they experienced, that they would continue to grow in their faith, and that we as a congregation would help them and really spur one another on in our faith and our walk with Jesus. Last week, we talked about money, and particularly the fact that money matters, and who we consider to be the owner of our stuff really matters. Everything we have ultimately comes from God. It's a gift from God. Even the ability to earn money comes from God. The opportunities that we've had, the gifts that we have, the mind, the strength, those are gifts from God. And so we don't want to be people who try to grasp and hang on to what really is not even ours to hang on to. Remember that challenge to just kind of mark all of our things, our stuff, and our bank accounts, our investments, and said, it's owned by God and to be used by God for His glory. How do we do that? How do we participate in God's kingdom through the giving of our resources, making them available to God for His use? This week we're going to continue looking at money, and particularly the connection between money and worship. We'll look some at the function of the Old Testament law. How did the law of tithing, giving 1/10 right off the top as an offering to God, as a sacrifice to God, how did that connect with worship and even influence our relationship with God? But looking in the New Testament, how did things change with Jesus? Is there a new standard? Are there new both commandments relating to money and or are there new opportunities relating to money? Think of the word generosity. That's a key word that we're going to be looking at in 2 Corinthians chapter 8 and chapter 9. And ultimately, even as we are generous, we'll see that worship abounds. As giving abounds, worship abounds. Those two things are intimately linked. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you Sunday, either in person or online.